Hello everyone. In our previous sessions of economics, we have gone through definition, scope and nature of economics as a subject, theory of demand, theory of supply and consumer behavior. In this session, we will discuss various topics related to production analysis such as production, division of labor, capital formation, types of products, production function, economies and diseconomies of scale. So let us begin with our first subtopic of this session, that is production. Production can be defined as a process involving creation of goods and services which can satisfy human wants or needs and have an exchange value. This process of production typically consists of creation of utilities and exchange value. So how is this utility created? There are various types of utilities which have their own method of creation. The first type of utility is form. Its creation involves conversion of the physical form of the commodity. Its example is conversion of cotton to clothes. The second type of utility is place. Its creation involves transporting the commodity from one place to another. For example, transportation of wheat from Punjab, where it is grown, to other parts of the country. The third type of utility is time. Its creation involves storage of the commodity for future usage. For example, rainwater harvesting, in which rainwater is stored for future usage. Another type of utility is possession. It is created by changing the ownership of the property. For example, a cricket bat will be of some use for a table tennis player as well, but given to a cricketer, its utility will increase manifolds. And the last one is personal, whose creation requires some kind of human skill, such as business executives or representatives. After going through the definition of production, now let us see what are the factors of production. Factors of production are of two types, the primary factors of production and the secondary factors of production. So let us begin with the first type of factors of production, that is the primary factors. Primary factors are such factors without which no production can take place. Land and labor are considered as the primary factors of production. Let us see what are the characteristics of these factors of production and how are they different. Land is used in all production processes in some or the other form. Land is a gift of nature. It is imperishable, that is, we are not likely to run out of land. Land is a free gift of nature to the mankind and is limited in supply. It cannot be increased in supply if desired so. Also, land is imperishable, that is, we cannot destruct land or land cannot be used up. Also, it cannot be moved from one location to another. Land is considered as a passive factor of production because it cannot produce anything by itself. The land also varies in fertility and therefore it's non-homogeneous. Another primary factor of production is labor. Labor has some important and unique characteristics as a primary factor of production. First of all, labor is inseparable from the laborer as the labor work has to be delivered in person by the laborer. Also, the laborer sells his services for a specific period of time and not himself. Labor is more perishable than any other factor of production because if the work is missed for a time period, that time is lost forever. Also, labor cannot be stored up. Labor is considered to be non-homogeneous. After all, a laborer is a human being and has feelings and likings. Therefore, he cannot render his services with the same efficiency like a machine. Labor is therefore highly affected by the circumstances of the laborer. Labor is not immobile like land, but generally less mobile as compared to the other factors of production. Also, The supply of labor is always independent of its demand and cannot be easily and quickly increased or decreased. If labor of supply is surplus, their numbers can be reduced only by a painful process of starvation. But when there is a sudden increase in demand for labor, such as during war, wages will rise but supply cannot be quickened as easily. Now, after primary factors of production, let us have a look at the secondary factors of production. Two such important factors are capital and entrepreneur. Let us take up capital first. Capital is considered a secondary and compound factor since production can take place even without it, and it results from the union of land and labor in the production of wealth. Hence, capital is considered man-made and productive. It is highly mobile and can easily be relocated. Its supply is elastic and can be increased or decreased as per the requirements. Another important secondary factor of production is the entrepreneur. He is the factor which combines all other factors of production in the production process. He is a risk taker and takes initiative even in the absence of any guarantee of the future conditions, and acts as an agent of change. Now, as we have already discussed capital as a factor of production, let us see how capital can be created. Capital formation has three stages: saving, mobilization, and investment. So let's take up the first stage, that is saving. Those people who have income must have the ability and the willingness to save some part of it. The next stage is mobilization. Scattered savings of the people, banks, and financial institutions should be attracted to such a scheme which can mobilize this money. And the third stage is investment. The process of capital investment ends in investment, in which the mobilized savings are provided to the entrepreneur to be utilized in production process. Our next topic is the division of labor. We can define division of labor as dividing the process of production into distinct and several components, processes, and assigning each component in the hands of a laborer or a set of laborers who are specialists in that particular process or component process.